I think, but that's what I said. We got almost crucified for that on TikTok.
Ridiculous.
So so I'm glad that somebody else recognizes this, and I think that's what South Park was trying to say. It's like, yes, diversity is not bad; it's a good thing. But when it's obvious, when it's obviously lazy, or when it's obviously a stunt, a publicity stunt or something, or it's just again attempted to just add a little spice to the soup or the stew,
to just pander
to something, and that's not always it's not always the best thing.
It's the opposite of inspired.
Yeah, exactly. December 8th, that's a Friday. Going to be in the Red Room show at 10 p.m. As many of you know, I was in Thailand. This man came in, did a good job of taking over for a little while. And one of the things that you talked about intrigued me. And a lot of people asked me about this, and they said, now that you're back, can you, we know it's been out for a while. We know it's already been talked about, but would you mind just coming in and just giving your opinion of this one little episode of South Park? Special episode of South Park. And I looked it up. Still #1 on Paramount. People still writing articles about this. People still talking about it. I haven't seen it. I decided to finally watch it and figure out what's the big deal with South Park and this Panderverse that they're talking about. Somebody even said that, I remember, and this is going to sound like a lame dad joke, but I'm not lying about this. Somebody sent me something that said, Corey, do you mind going in and just talking about the Panderverse for yourself? And I looked at it at a glance. I thought they were talking about the Panderverse. And I thought, so I just spent about 2 minutes looking up pandas. Like, what is this goddamn Panderverse they're talking about? Until something came up and it said it was South Park. And I said, oh, that's the thing that I missed right there.
Yeah.
So, all right, for those people that asked me to talk about this, I finally sat down, watched it, and what did I think? Well, first of all, let's go ahead and watch this little teaser for it to get people a little bit refreshed on that, just in case you're like me and didn't know what the hell they were talking about. And then we'll be back. You already talked about it yourself.
Yeah.
But
John was with me.
And John was with you at the time too. But now I'm going to enter the discussion and tell you what I feel about it right after this.
How does this even make any sense?
It makes perfect sense. I think the problem is you. South Park, new exclusive event, exclusively on Paramount Plus.
Now y'all talking about, if you know nothing about this like I didn't when I was in Thailand, you're like, wait a minute, what the hell is this? That's not Cartman, that's a damn black woman right there. You would Stan, that's not Stan, that's some ethnicity that I don't know. It's some brown shit. I don't know. What the hell is going on here? Well, that's the thing with this episode. So this whole episode, it deals with the Panderverse. And the reason why they called it the Panderverse is because in this specific universe, because everybody has a multiverse now, even South Park now.
Yep.
They have all been replaced, all the main characters have been replaced by women of color.
Diverse
women of color. And a lot of people say, well, I never asked for that. And that's the point of the episode. South Park is known for going in and being very topical.
Yeah.
Very political sometimes, also never holding back on talking about celebrities and entertainment trends and pop culture. And so this is all about, this whole thing dealing with diversity, especially within one studio, Disney, and the diversity that they're doing with all their remakes and also with some of the stuff they're doing with Marvel and things like that. So the way that they tease it, it seems like this is all that it's about.
Yeah.
But you saw this, and I got to say, man, so they tackled way more in this than I expected.
Same, yeah.
I thought it was going to be like a one-note joke.
Exactly, yeah.
And it was not. So this panda stuff, the Panderverse, the diversity that they're making fun of, poking fun of, we'll get into that in a little bit. I think that the funniest stuff in here was the stuff with the handyman.
Yeah.
So there's this whole other plot going on about handyman and
and how people can't do stuff for themselves anymore.
Yeah, it's this whole thing where people have gotten and listen, I'm gonna tell you something. The beauty of South Park is that at some point they're gonna make everyone feel like shit.
Yep.
you know, you gonna watch it and one day they're gonna get you.
Yeah.
You're gonna feel like, well, shit, is that me? and they got me with this, man. They got me with this one because the whole joke is about, as you said, Julian, it's about how people can't do shit because we're all dependent on the internet now. We're all, you know, especially if you're going to college.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to college, you got yourself a nice cushy job or something, you a bitch.
I got a degree. I
Yeah,
can do
if you
this
got
thing.
a degree, you have graduated in bitchness. You can't do anything, man. And I looked at that and I said, you know what? It's funny because it's true, and God damn it, I am that truth.
So you're Randy in this episode?
I'm Randy and everybody else that couldn't do shit, man. Like this is I mean, it was almost uncomfortable but it was funny because you know, with me, I'm this person. I realized, well, shit, if a light bulb goes out, I'll call a handyman.
Really?
Yeah, it's a combination of I don't want to do it, and I haven't wanted to do it for so long that I probably don't remember how to do it. How you doing that? How'd you get that light bulb back in there?
I just like the execution of how Randy was trying to be like, no, I'm on the right side of this. Like, let me show you how you fix this oven door.
Yeah.
You start by taking your phone and calling someone to do it.
You call someone to do it, and because of there's so many people now who can't do shit.
Yeah.
And need to get the handyman to come do things for them. The handyman are getting like overbooked. And so everybody thinks like, oh, shit, don't worry about this. I got this. So, you know what? They offered you what, $30? I'll offer you $40. And because of that, these handymen are now getting rich.
Yeah, wearing Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, Louis Vuitton and getting chauffeurs and, and getting rims with lights under their cars.
Can't get her fixed right now. I gotta get some different washers at the Home Depot.
Oh, okay. I will pay you an extra $30 if you fix my oven now.
Yeah.
Randy's such a prick, man.
He's beautifully stupid.
He's like, hey, they don't make a lot of money. So I mean, he's such a condescending dick, man. He was dumbass. Oh, hey, kid, don't worry about it. They pieces of shit. I got this.
Sorry, but Stotch already gave me an extra $50. It's like, I don't know, it's like nobody knows how to do shit anymore.
Can I tell you something? When he said that, I was like, I look just like that. I was like, shit, that's me. God damn, they got me good, man. I said, I do not know how to do shit.
Really? So you can't, like, if you got something from IKEA or something, you wouldn't be able to put that shit together?
I don't want to do it. That's the thing.
I mean, yeah.
Listen, but no, at this point, I probably haven't done it for so long. I'm probably technically declined now. You know, I don't know how to do shit anymore. No, hey, listen, if it involves screwing something in, I don't know how to do it.
You look at a wrench, that's a spoon.
Yeah. Why, I ain't getting no cereal on this. No, I know. I call it. Anytime something has to be done, it started with I don't have time to do it. Mm-hmm. Now I just don't know shit at all. You know. So, but every time I need something done, I'm on an app. And they hit it right here, man. Now, of course, it's exaggerated, but I thought, you know what? I thought that this was a really cool thing that they did because they pitched this whole thing as, you know, they're making fun of the multiverses and Disney and diversity. But this episode also stepped back to, it was respectful to all these people who, you know, who were considered to be, you know, handyman, or they went to technical school or something like that. You know, it's a comment now on how, in this day and age, where people are paying out the ass for college and ain't got no skills, probably got degrees in things that have no use, and they're paying for all these loans. Meanwhile, these people that society has been trained to look down on because you know that they are you know they're blue collar workers. Yeah. This episode is paying respect and just saying how much we depend on these people and how much we need to, like, just because they're not college students or academics, we know they are making a good living, you know, doing this job, and we need them. It was a unexpected thing that was in there for me. I didn't expect that at all.
And that builds up to have an unexpected twist of who they end up making a statement about even further beyond that, what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, that is true. But of course, the main story, as we said, is Panderverse, you know, which is a place where everyone is replaced by women of color and have no place for the white male patriarchy in society. And that universe crosses over with South Park that we see right here. And and we did the first time that we see this crossover happening is when all of a sudden, with no explanation at the beginning of the show, Cartman is a grown black woman.
Yeah.
You have KFC all the time. Yeah, and I have diarrhea all the time.
Have a good day at school, sweetie.
You, Mom.
I gotta tell you, I'm not trying to come in and preach for diversity because they're poking fun of that, but Cartman makes a funny black woman. I ain't gonna lie. I know it's just it's nice to have a little break from Cartman and see it be done a little bit differently now.
Yeah, it's nice the way that they're doing it. It's paying homage to like a lot of the stuff that black female Cartman says. It's all stuff from like the first couple seasons that he would say.
Yeah. I mean, again, not trying to push diversity, but besides being black and having some titties, there's no big difference between us
No,
and Cartman,
it's the same.
But as we go deeper into the Panderverse, we discover this leads to discovering why Disney movies are sucking so much, because they feel like they are now pandering, and they're pandering to certain demographics and trends, and a lot of people, as we've seen, especially within the geek community, they put the blame on Kathleen Kennedy.
Yep,
right here. Now, the thing I want to talk about with this diversity thing is that as usual, between all the foul language and crass jokes, the writing is very smart in this.
Tight as hell.
No, it's very tight. It's very smart. It's very, again, it's very poignant. It really just, it nails it with a lot of things, man. As it satirizes, politics and pop culture, as I just mentioned. But while it's this smart and it's this sharp, as usual, a lot of people missed the point. I missed part of it.
100%. Before it even came out, people were complaining.
Yeah, well, no, you know what? From what I saw, people weren't even complaining. People kind of like, yeah, you tell them Cartman, you tell them South Park. I think that a lot of people, because now I was reading on this since I hadn't seen it. I was reading a lot of articles on this and whatnot, and a lot of comments with this, and a lot of people are missing the point with this. This is one of the reasons why I want to talk about this. Let me just say this. I really admire how they handled this whole argument of diversity, because it's hard to be fair.
Yeah, it could have been just a lazy joke also.
It could have been just a lazy joke. But they, I appreciate the argument that they made here, because it's hard to be fair with this, because if you criticize any diversity attempts at all, if you criticize anything about diversity, then all of a sudden, you run the risk of people saying, well, you are denying people who need that representation.
You're racist.
You're racist? Are you sexist? As much as I love to see people getting represented in all forms and all places, there's no denying that sometimes diversity attempts can be lazy, man. And Disney has been Disney has been guilty of this for a while.
Oh yeah, and they break it down in this episode. Like, they are not shy about how they feel.
No, they're not. And I'm glad that they've actually pointed this out, because we got backlash. We got shit. Maybe I am racist. No, we got backlash too. No, because we got it from a lot of black people. We got a big backlash when we talked about the Little Mermaid. I remember talking about The Little Mermaid. And listen, I was not saying that I did not want little black girls to see themselves on the screen. I was not trying to deny anybody anything. I think you can get the movie like a low matinee, just based on almost diversity alone, even though I'm getting sick of these Disney remakes. But I did think that it was a lazy attempt to spice up rehashed remakes. Mm-hmm. It's a gimmick in a way, it seems like. And I say this because I've seen Disney do this before with other things before they got here. With The Little Mermaid, at least I can say that they used her for something, but Disney has been trying to put diversity in some of their movies and some of their big properties, and it's insulting the way they did it. Poor John Boyega and Kelly Marie Tran, they put their asses in there just to throw in some color in Star Wars and then do a goddamn thing with them.
Yeah, and I think that what Cartman starts saying in the episode, it's talking about Rey as well. Yeah, make her a woman and boring, basically.
Yeah, diversity. I think diversity is done better when you really are doing original projects with people of color, or you really are putting people of color in there as characters. You're not putting them there as background color.
Yeah,
you're not putting them in there just to as just to say, look what we did. We like the
Yeah,
You know,
if you're going to shift that in the script, if like originally they were white and then you change them to black and they're sex, that should affect the rest of the script. You know, you can't just do that.
I mean, in the episode, they talk about Spider-Verse, how that was something that seemed, even though it was a black Spider-Man, it really was centered around a truly original character whose story was the main focal point. You know,
plus everyone likes Spider-Man.
And everybody likes Spider-Man. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I looked at The Little Mermaid and I was just kind of like, you know something? It was safe casting with this black character here, but other than that, it's just another lame Disney remake. You want to show me some diversity? Make some original properties with people of color, women in the forefront or whatever. I think. But that's what I said. We got almost crucified for that on TikTok.
Ridiculous.
So I'm glad, that somebody else recognizes this. And I think that's what South Park was trying to say. It's like, yes, diversity is not bad. It's a good thing. But when it's obvious, when it's obviously lazy.
Yeah.
Or when it's obviously a stunt, a publicity stunt or something, or it's just, again, attempted to just add a little spice to the soup or the stew.
Just pander.
Just to pander to something. And that's not always, it's not always the best thing.
It's the opposite of inspired.
Yeah, exactly. No, variety is good.
Yeah.
But it just depends on how you do it. Like HelloFresh, they get it right, man. I mean, that's good diversity right there.
I'll give it to you. Talking about spice, I was like, yeah, I'm tasting what you're making here. Oh, it's from HelloFresh. Nice.
Hey, listen, I do have to stop and give a word to our sponsor right now, America's #1 meal kit, HelloFresh, but because they like that diversity right there. But let me just tell you something. First of all, HelloFresh, you should try it. Even if you can't cook, you're going to be so proud of yourself. Look, even a dog is cooking. Look at that. The dog. So you can do all right. But with HelloFresh, I mean, first of all, they live up to that fresh in the title right there. Because all the ingredients, they're delivered fresh and pre-proportioned
pre-cut, I guess.
There you go. Everything is measured just right. But all of it's fresh and delivered to your doorstep, almost with the same farm freshness that they have when they first picked it up and before they put in that box and gave it to you, man. The ingredients right at your door, and they have with them step-by-step instructions so that when you pull it out and you start cooking, you ain't got to worry about a thing. You have no excuse for not making this food. They carry you step-by-step with it, and by the end of it, you're going to be so proud of yourself. You're going to feel like a chef. I mean, like I said, look at these kids over here cooking, man. They ain't burning the kitchen down or anything.
Yeah, the hardest part about cooking is prepping everything.
Exactly.
They do it for you.
Exactly. You're going to feel so proud of yourself when you do it. You're like, all right, that's cool. But you know something? Cooking takes time.
Yeah.
I'm a busy person. I don't have the time to do that. Now, again, you got no excuse here because HelloFresh is also fast. They have these recipes that take about 30 minutes to make, but they also have some like 15 minutes. Quick and easy options is what they're called. 15 minutes or less to make. Let's talk about that diversity, that variety right there.
All those different tastes and flavors.
Oh man, all these colors working together, Man, if only human beings could be like the HelloFresh menu right here. Look at this. Look at all these colors and ingredients working together to make this fine food. How come society can't be like that? Look at that right there. Look at that. 20 minutes to make this sesame soy beef bowl right here. 20 minutes to make creamy tomato soup with pork sausage. Oh my God.
Easy as can be.
Easy as can be, man. And also, fall is here, winter will be coming, and they always make recipes that suit the season. So you can also look for a lot of different recipes coming up. Once you go through these, don't worry, there's a lot more on the way. And on top of that, it's not just dinner. I know that's what you're thinking. They got breakfast now, they got lunch, and they got dessert. And also, this is what's really gonna get to you, save money. Using HelloFresh saves time, and also it's about 25% less expensive than takeout and also cheaper than grocery shopping sometimes.
Yeah, and they still bring it right to you.
And they bring it right to you. Time is money, y'all. And speaking of money, I'm going to save even more. Look at this right here. Like I said, you got no excuse for any of this, but this is really what's going to bring you over right here. Everybody likes a good deal. If you go to HelloFresh.com/50doubletoasted and use the code 50doubletoasted, you'll get 50% off plus free shipping. That is 50 double toasted. Use that code, you'll get 50% off plus free shipping. Everybody likes that word free.
Free shipping just rolls off the tongue.
It just rolls off the tongue, but doesn't roll out your pocket. Look at that. Hey. Anyway, hey, just use the code. Get it. You're going to like it. It's better than that joke right there. I promise you.
Getting mad at yourself now for saying these puns. Damn you,
I still
me.
blame you for it. I still blame you. But anyway, listen, you're going to blame me for a good deal right here. I want to thank HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit, for sponsoring this portion of the show. And I want to thank all of you out there for your support. All right, so let me see what we got here. Thing is that while they're pointing that out, now this is what I want to talk about right here. They're very fair on taking both sides of the diversity argument. And they're, of course, they're going in and saying that, yeah, diversity can be lazy if it's not done right. It can be condescending if it's not done right.
Yeah.
It can just look bad if it's not done right. But again, South Park is fair in that argument. And the episode looked at both sides of this argument.
Oh, yeah, it does.
And this is what I think people fail to see. I think people like, yeah, get that woke asses. People like, they thought this was an argument against wokeness. They thought South Park was sort of, being on the conservative side of things.
It's way more complicated than that.
It really is, man. And a lot of people see the episode that way, and it's not. And plus, this is not an attack on Kathleen Kennedy either, as a lot of people thought. Because a lot of people are doing the same thing. Yeah, get that bitch. She ruined Star Wars. No, it's not.
She is a legendary producer. There's a reason why she's in that position.
No, you're right.
People forget she was producer on E.T. I mean, she was there when Spielberg was like really coming up.
Her name's featured in is like Indiana Jones. And yeah. I mean, she
tons of stuff.
Listen, we should be kissing this woman's ass, but but the thing is that I know that there's been some missteps that she might have had with Star Wars, and her face is the one that's up front. But it's not. This is not something where they're trying to crucify Kathleen Kennedy. Thing is that it points out that while diversity, has gotten insultingly lazy, you racists still ain't off the hook. All right, you be that. Look, it's the racist and the sexist and all the racism and sexism that was out there. Let's not pretend like that did not play a big part in this right here. They even say that this thing is sort of the reaction to there's an action to a reaction. Yeah, or a reaction to an action.
They're trying to see who cast the first stone, and it's like I can't really exactly pinpoint it.
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I mean, come on, let's admit it. Anytime you change, racists ain't gonna be satisfied with anything.
Of course not.
So anytime you put a person of color or a woman in anything, especially if they're in the lead, they're not gonna like that.
Yeah, it's gonna make them turn off from it.
Yeah, and so let's not forget or pretend that racism and sexism didn't play a part of this. If anything, there was probably a little bit too much pushback on that. Overcompensating for that, and that's what led us to having like this crazy diversity that we're having right now. I loved how that episode, pointed that out and looked at both sides of everything. Also, this. I thought this was funny. This is. I wonder how Marvel's going to take this, because it just stopped to also say, in addition to paying respect to handyman out there and service workers, in addition to looking at diversity, the negatives and the positives of it, multiverses suck. Let's get to the main point right here. Multiverses are lame now. It's
overdone.
It's overdone.
Oversimplified.
Everybody has one now.
Yeah, it's just an excuse.
I remember when cell phones used to be a big thing. Like if you had a cell phone, you was some big shit, man. You were, you were rich. You had clout. Now everybody got a cell phone. You ain't shit.
Everybody's got a multiverse now.
Yeah. It's everybody has a multiverse now, and this show points out. It doesn't hesitate to point out at all. Like, hey, listen, it might have been cool for a little while, but multiverses are lame.
Do we know you?
I'm Cartman. Will you guys listen to me? I'm Cartman.
You're not Cartman, and multiple universes are stupid.
It really is something now. Yeah, it's where multiverses just, at one time it seemed like it might have been cool, But now that everybody's doing it,
It has its moments where it's used nicely and it can be fun, but yeah, it's overplayed at this point.
I mean, DC and Marvel are pretty much just, doing the same thing.
It's going to become a really bad crutch, I think.
Yeah.
Or it could. It has the potential to do that.
I just wonder if Marvel's looking at this and like, fuck, because I mean,
got us.
Yeah, well, it's just like, at this point, everything, their whole next phase relies on, a whole multiverse saga.
Yeah.
And at this point, multiverses are played out, man.
Oh, definitely.
Should Marvel just scrap all this shit?
No, I think that there's good ways that you can use it. And if you're creative with it, there's still ways that you can spin it. I mean, they did it pretty well there. Spider-Verse, I think that's an excellent example, and everyone is super excited for the next one. But I do see where they're coming from. But even they admit, they're like, well, I mean, Miles Morales is pretty cool, and like that Spider-Verse movie was cool, but fuck those multiverses. They're just kind of sick of it.
Yeah, no, it was cool when Marvel started doing it, and then DC started doing it. It's almost like when you get a pool, and then you think you some big shit, and your neighbor gets one too.
But I can see why they're saying that, because like imagine like Star Wars starts doing a multiverses. I mean, like that sounds like a nightmare.
You got it from Marvel to DC to Rick and Morty. Invincible's doing it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I didn't even know Invincible had started doing that yet.
And to Invincible's, credit, they were doing it long before anybody else was doing it. So, but it's just everybody's doing it now.
Oh yeah.
And I like the way it. Listen, that's why I think Marvel needs to rethink this, because once South Park gets on your shit, once South Park starts calling you out, then you're probably messing up.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I can see why this is still number one on Paramount. I can see why there was, this huge, viewership for it when it first came out.
I'm glad it's getting a good response. I think it deserves it. I mean, when I did a review, I couldn't stop talking about how funny I thought that this was.
But that's the main thing. It's just funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious, nonstop. I had to pause this like 3 minutes in because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah, the only complaint I had, I think it might be a little bit too long. Just a little bit too long.
Yeah, I thought
it's 49 minutes.
I ran out of energy from laughing so much through it that by the end I was just like, okay, like end now, make it stop.
Yeah, no, it's but overall, man, no, I thought they just, as in usual South Park fashion. By the way, I say this like I watched South Park. After I got through, I was like, man, I need to start watching South Park again.
I've been telling you for years, all their specials have been really good. The one that they did about NFTs a few months ago was also excellent. They're on it.
I've hit Simpson syndrome with South Park. You know what Simpson syndrome is?
It's been done before?
No, it's just too many goddamn episodes.
Oh,
you feel threatened now.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going like Simpsons did it.
No. Maybe they did, but like we just got through reading that Simpsons has 750 episodes.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. I'm intimidated to ever go back in now because I feel like if I'm gonna miss something, I have to go back and watch other episodes. With South Park, I mean,
they've been going for over 20 years.
Over 20 years. I mean, it must be over 1,000 episodes.
There's a lot of them.
This, so it's like, yeah, I'm intimidated by South Park. That's the thing. But man, it did make me want to go in and start watching it because they do amazing writing on this.
Yeah, the jokes, and that's the thing is though, even though it may be a little bit too long, all the big punchlines they hit. Yeah, and they hit hard.
You're like me. I don't know. You were in another country or something. You just didn't have time. Check it out. It's hilarious, man. But glad I watched it, man. Definitely a full price episode for me.
For me, I would go even further. It's better than Sex for me. It's as good as I think a special from South Park could be.
Maybe in another dimension of multiverse it would be. Maybe Corey's giving it a better than Sex there, but this dimension Corey's giving it a full price. But I see what you're saying. It's very
and
it's
I'm
very
biased.
fun.
I'm a big fan of South Park. I love what they do. Oh yeah, everything they've done, I think it's great.
Yeah. Now are they gonna continue with specials like this?
Yeah, they have it's weird. Like what is it? Like HBO Max gets all the episodes, and then Paramount Plus has this contract for all the specials that they're going to do.
So they're going to do more specials like this?
Yeah, they have like 3 or 4 of them. And I was going to bring this up when you were done. The next project that Trey Parker's working on, right? With Kendrick Lamar.
That's the one where he dates a white girl, but it turns out that her great-great-grandmother or something was a slave owner of his.
Yep, of Kendrick Lamar, yeah. And he's like a slave reenactor.
And one of the guys from South Park is
Trey Parker is
they're
working
gonna piss
on
people off.
Yeah, I
gonna
think
make you mad.
It's a match made in heaven. I think the dialogue is going to be really tight, and I think that his direction's going to be awesome.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
that's exciting.
I'll
I
be
forget
wa-
what it's called.
Oh, I'll be watching Fox News that day. can't wait.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot to say about that.